Hi, it's Martha of Just Martha Designs, and today is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be a card video. I'm actually going to talk about my appointment that I had today. So, if some of you have been following me because of the fact that I had the dystonia along with the cramps fasciculation, and my cramps fasciculation syndrome tends to trigger my dystonia, as well as stress triggers my dystonia. So I went to the neurologist today, and she saw me back in March and said that she wanted to change my medications. But she didn't want to change my medications while I was teaching, just because adjusting to a new medication takes a little bit of time, and it's possible to have really bad reaction. Just talking to a few people that I know who have it, they've stated to me that any kind of change in their medication has caused their dystonia to become worse. And at this point, I'm thinking I can't imagine it being worse, especially since I got up this morning and had an issue with I could take maybe 1 or 2 steps, and then my left leg completely could not bear weight, and I would go down. And I'm still having an issue. I imagine that I'm about to have a dystonia attack in that leg, just because the muscle feels as though it is like a rubber band, like stretched as tight as it can go. I've been having really bad cramps and twitches, to the point, instead of it looking like, sometimes it'll look like things are moving underneath the surface, but like deep dimpling, and so you can see the muscle that is like really taut, like just poked out there, and so I know that it's getting ready to draw, and that's probably what was happening this morning. Every time I would start to walk, the muscle just would give out, and it just would not support me. So that's how my morning started. But I went to the doctor, and she decided to place me on Nupro, and it's a patch, and supposedly it is a dopamine agonist. She listed all these words, and I cannot remember them to save my life. But I start the Nupro patch, and I was going to start that tonight, since I did miss my middle of the day medication because I had that appointment. It takes forever at her doctor's office. Honestly, she was like really upfront. She's been upfront with me when I go in there, but it's a really long wait. So my appointment was at 3:30, and they called me out of the waiting room to go to the back at 5:30. So it is generally they have a 2-hour wait. If your appointment is at one time, don't expect to be seen until 2 hours after that time. But I can say I was a little disappointed that she was placing me on this medication. I thought, oh gosh, another dopamine medication. But when I started doing a little bit of research, a lot of people don't know, when they placed me on the carbidopa levodopa, and that was the Cinnamate, one, it helped. It really helped. And I could tell an improvement. It wasn't 100% though. But the bad thing about the carbidopa levodopa is that there are so many really bad drug interactions. So, for example, I got sick and had a cold. I took a decongestant. I ended up in the hospital. You cannot mix those things. And that was something that I didn't know. And a lot of these things I found out the hard way. Even pain medications, certain pain medications, and I have my suspicions that for the pain medications that it has something to do with the dopamine receptors. So I have tried to avoid a lot of things that as they came about. If I noticed that I was having a reaction to it, then I put it on my do not prescribe this to me. I can't take this. And so my list was really long of things that I could not take. And this past year, my asthma just spiraled out of control. And a lot of the asthma issues were related to the fact that I caught a simple little cold. Little respiratory virus, should take you 7 to 10 days to get over. I was sick for months just because I really couldn't take anything to help with the symptoms. So normally you would take things if you had a cough and you noticed that you had a little congestion. You take something like guaifenesin or Mucinex. I can't take that because that causes me to have facial paralysis. If you can't breathe, you take a decongestant to open up your sinuses. Can't take that. I ended up having a seizure and in the hospital. So a lot of things I just couldn't take, and so I had to suffer through a cold. And the downside to having asthma, that one, it's kind of hard to control that. So I'm at the point now where my asthma is controlled and I'm well. So when I go back to the pulmonologist in August, I'll go back about the same time. I think I have it set up for around the time that I will be in the room cleaning and dusting, because I know that dust is a trigger for me. And so I have it set up so that I'll go in there and we'll see what happens. But it took 3 months for me to get over a cold that should have taken 7 days. And it was a lot of the fact that the asthma was not, the asthma became an issue. It was exacerbated by the cold, and then it just continued to spiral downward, and until the point that, I mean, my lungs were so raw that any kind of fragrance, things that normally would not trigger, became an issue. And so that was by far one of the worst experiences. So the new medication, the Nupro, I'm doing a patch. It's a 24-hour patch. So I just put on this little patch, and it's supposed to provide me with the medication that I need for all day. And so the drug interactions for it, there were 596. And I thought, oh no, this has more drug interactions than the one I'm taking. And so I started looking at the list of things, and a lot of the things that were listed, and I clicked on things that I know that I take that are drug interactions. And it was the fact that all of those medications, all 596, have may cause drowsiness as a side effect. And when you combine that with the Nupro, you have an even more increased chance of becoming drowsy. And I thought, oh, well, that's nothing new. I take these medications all the time. So I have some that I take at night. I'll be putting on the patch at night, even though it lasts for 24 hours. And then in the morning, I take another medication that has a tendency to make you drowsy. But for me, I have adjusted to it, and it really doesn't bother me. Now, about middle of the day now, I start to get really tired. But it's a 24-hour medication, and I take it in the morning. But usually it kicks in about middle of the day, and then I'm tired. But it's, I think that this is going to be a good thing if it works. She said that once I start, because I will put the patch on and I will start to decrease the sentiment, and I'll go from 3 doses a day to 2 doses a day, and then I will go from that to 2 halves a day to a half a day. And she said to kind of wean myself off the medication, which I have to, because honestly, the drug withdrawals are horrible. I hate it for my family. I'm going to be in a really bad mood, because you do have some really nasty withdrawals, and it can get pretty bad, because you're going from having this dosage of dopamine in your body, and suddenly you're kind of like bringing yourself down. Even though she said that it would take about 36 to 48 hours for the patch to fully kick in, and still I'm going to be weaning myself off of the other two. So hoping that I don't have any major, because I think last time it was really bad, that it was not only was I irritable because I ran out of medication, and I actually tried to decrease myself off of it, knowing I was running out of medication, and I still had to wait to get a chance to get the doctor, or to get a hold of the doctor. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of decrease this. It was bad. It was not only irritable, but you would have like episodes with your heart would race. It would just be crazy, like you just all of a sudden just sweat, and just these bizarre symptoms, and that was horrible. And I thought, I never want to do this again. So here I am. I'm going to be doing that again this week. I am going to document. So I'm probably going to upload this video. So it's Monday night, and I'm probably going to upload this video Tuesday. So it'll be tomorrow. But Tuesday night, I'm going to put the patch on and start that. And I'm going to document this. Just for my own personal reasons, I'm going to document this, and I'll probably vlog about it, just because if there's anyone else who's going through this, that maybe, how does a new medication affect? And I know that with the dystonia, it can be it's trial and error, that you have to find something that works for that particular person. And I know I was told by the neurologist that put me on the Cinnamon that I was lucky that the first medication worked. Okay, all right, I'll buy that. But it's also, there are times that it doesn't. So that can play a big factor. So we will just wait and see. But I will vlog about this. It will not be, like I said, tomorrow. I will start that tomorrow night, and then Wednesday, probably Wednesday night, and upload again on Thursday. So look for that. I'll try to create a playlist to keep all of those together, just because I really want to track all of this and see how this goes. But anyhow, it's late. I have to get to sleep. Have to take my son to work in the morning. Fun. Summer. Just thought that I was going to get to take it easy. But anyways, have a blessed evening. Have a blessed night. And look for those videos. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I do some craft videos from time to time. I do some other videos, so just, subscribe to my channel. Click on the little link below. And as always, see you later.